I'm going to be trendy and say this channel is this show. It's not specifically martial arts, but I'm a lifelong martial artist, and I know like all these approaches to life, they apply to everything, and that's
They do.
the beauty of martial arts is it sort of like helps bring you up, and it makes you a person that can adapt and overcome, sort of a thing. But what are some of the misconceptions that you think people have between martial arts and self-defense?
One of my biggest pet peeves that I absolutely hate is, I'm going to rag on Taekwondo, so sorry. But I hate when you get this 14-year-old, 85-pound girl that gets a black belt in Taekwondo, and then they send her out into the world thinking, oh, she can go kick men's asses.
Right.
One of the best things that I loved about what Ryan Hoover was, he very much stresses that size matters. And it does. Like, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter how technical I can get. It doesn't matter how many black belts I have under my belt. It doesn't matter. Like, it's still going to matter at the end of the day, pound for pound. Like,
yeah,
an average size man is going to do some damage to me no matter what, even. And then the other one is just because you have martial arts experience, MMA is not the same as self-defense. Like, I will tell you that straight up, because that was one of the best things the things that I was discussing recently with one of my coaches was, in self-defense, I'm trying to get away. In MMA, I have to stay in the cage. Otherwise I look like a weenie. So I can't get out. Right. Bang on the door.
Right.
So that's totally different. Like, because you're training to stay in the fight. You're training to do this. In self-defense, you're training to get away. And so those are different movements. Like, even when I went into, like, started doing my shift towards doing this MMA fight that's coming up, that shift was very different for me, because a lot of the stuff that I've done, even in a clinch, was like to push away, to get away, and stuff like that, versus, being more strategic.
Right.
So
that makes sense. Yeah. It's sport versus like reality,
Right. You can't pull a knife out.
I do hate that term. And maybe you talked me off a ledge. I don't know. Maybe you feel the same way. That term of like reality-based martial arts. Like, it kind of makes my skin crawl a little bit.
What would you suggest, though, as opposed to that?
I don't know. And that's why I don't. I'll just say it here. I won't say it in class.
That's funny.
It is reality, though. I mean, there's a big difference between sport and reality.
I think there's a big thing. Part of our job, if you want to do it well, is to provide a reality check for other people.
Yeah.
One of my very first things that I do when I run a course is I show them how easy it is to enclose space on a person starting at 15 feet back. And usually I pick a person that is a martial artist in the class, because I'll ask them, like, what's your experience before? And it is about, like, then I'll walk up to them, and I'm walking up to them slowly, but I'm talking to them. And I'm usually doing like a scenario, something about, like, I don't know, like, you hit my car or something like this. Okay. The scenario doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with what I'm even saying. The fact is that I'm usually cussing at them too. And it's getting them to understand the freeze response of, they're like, hey, I'm here in a self-defense class, and what is this woman doing? They don't back up. They don't even get their hands up. They're just like this. And that's the they're perplexed. They don't know. And you have different types of freeze responses of what the hell is going on, because your brain's playing catch up to a person like, oh, wait, are you really trying to hurt me? And then you have just, when you're in fight, you have like tonic immobility and things like that. And so that's one of the drills that I would say examples that I use. And then the second one is I'll usually pick a woman, and I will just lay across. I'll have her lay on the ground, and I'll like lay across her like perpendicular, and I'll just dead weight. And I'll be like, get me off of you.
Right.
And, sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. Occasionally I'll pick the one that actually has jiu-jitsu experience. And I'm like, damn it. But for the most part, it is really eye-opening, because then I explain to them, I'm like, look, here's the deal. I'm 125 pounds, and I'm just dead weighting on you. I'm not trying to hold you down. I'm not punching you. I'm not kicking you. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just a dead weight, and you can't move me off of you. And I was like, that is what I'm talking about how size matters.
Right. That's so true.